All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, and I'm definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with me this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this awesome Forex market. So, without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody can hear me loud and clear and you're all set and ready to get going this morning, do me a huge favor, drop me a one in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me. All right. I see the ones coming in. Good morning, everybody. So as always, we want to make sure, right, that we start each and every day with a strong foundation and that we take massive action, making sure that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome. Let's make sure that we continue to center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, and that we always trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition, and that we are always imagining our trade successfully materializing, and that we are obeying our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and that we are never looking back or stopping once our trades have commenced. All right. So I hope everybody is having a really good week so far, right? That we are becoming more and more healthy, wealthy, and wise. So, we had a day off on Monday, no mindset Monday, and then yesterday, Ryan and I had pre-scheduled events super early, so couldn't get on yesterday. So I am actually looking forward to jumping on these charts and seeing what's going on. Joy said she called off yesterday. Sometimes you got to do what you have to do. So let's move over and take a look at trading economics. Hey, right? Gold hits another record, right? So gold prices rose for a seventh consecutive session to above 27.50 per ounce, a new record high prompted by geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, as well as the uncertainty surrounding the global economy and the upcoming U.S. election. Furthermore, the likelihood of aggressive interest rate hikes by the Fed has decreased, further reducing the appeal of riskier assets, right? So a lot of uncertainty going on. We also have, I believe, Japan, right? We saw a spike in those yen crosses because they do have, I believe they have elections as well. Matter of fact, yeah, I believe they have elections as well. I think over the weekend, maybe coming up. So that's leading to some uncertainty in regards to the future of their monetary policy because it's looking like the ruling party right now may lose, right? So that's one of the latest things I was reading. So um, who knows how that's going to go? But we saw some volatility with the yen crosses. We'll take a look at those. And so what else? Gold is the biggest story. European stocks cautious. Earnings eyed, right? So we're still in earnings season. A lot of major companies reporting earnings, so a lot of back and forth there. So a lot of things to pay attention to going on into the markets. I know I am primarily sitting right now in cash. Um, I'm always a little cautious ahead. Now it's every 4 years, right? But ahead of major U.S. elections, I am always cautious with my money, right? Because you never know how the market is going to react. All right. So uh, if you're putting on positions, maybe during this time up and through the election, maybe you don't throw in your full positions if you're going to play in the market, right? And not sit on the sidelines in cash, right? Or, you might be in gold, you might be in bonds and things like that, as we've seen the bond yields creep up due to a lot of the uncertainty. But myself, not really putting on full positions when I'm in, but mainly in cash right now, trying to wait for the dust to settle, right? So that's moving over. I'll take a look at this at the DXY, right? So the dollar index rose above 104.2 on Wednesday, hitting its highest level since early August as investors continue to dial back bets on aggressive Federal Reserve rate cuts while bracing for the upcoming U.S. presidential election. The greenback also tracked rising Treasury yields, with the benchmark 10-year note reaching 4.22% for the first time since late July amid robust economic data and deficit worries. Markets are now pricing in around a 90% chance that the Fed will opt for a more modest 25 basis point rate cut in November, at delivering a jumbo 50 basis point reduction in September. Investors now look ahead to the Fed's Beige Book summary of economic conditions on Wednesday for updates on the central bank's economic outlook. The dollar hovered at multi-month highs against other major currencies, with the most pronounced buying activity seen versus the yen, and that's pretty much across the board. Yeah, so pretty much fall in line with what we were saying. Markets are now pricing in around 90% chance for 25 basis points. I've kind of thought that all along. I didn't think they would go 50 and 50, right? So I don't know about you guys, but based on the stuff that I've been following, I thought from the time that they made the huge 50 basis point cut at their last meeting, that would lead to a 25 basis point cut in November, and then another 25 basis point cut possibly in December. So Joyce said, I would understand sitting in cash. You're saying there's a cash coin, but what do you mean by that? You should. So, sitting in cash, meaning that I'm just sitting on the sidelines, right? Like waiting for. It's really a time where it's like, hey, if I'm getting in the market, like I said, really contemplating whether or not you want to take full positions right now. And so what I mean by sitting on the sidelines, just sitting in cash. So when you're sitting in cash, it's just like, hey, I've got my money parked, right? I don't have a lot of trades open in the market right now, right? I've got some trade ideas that's out there, but not really seeing, enough to say, okay, that's a go. I was actually looking to possibly fade that dollar, but we'll look at the index now, and you can see like it's running, right? So I thought here, right, where we actually put in that high, that the dollar may take a breather. We talked about that last week, maybe come back to retest support, but it didn't. It completely made a U-turn, right? So this is a huge fundamental driver. Look at how you got your stochastic pushing down, right? But then you got price still running to the upside. So you got some divergence there. Like this is rumbling. Here's a 1 hour on the DXY. That's about to hit an extension, right? So it made just a slight correction when you look at it on the daily. That's slight, and then it U-turn, right? 1 hour chart, deeper correction into the zone, right at that 50% level, but it just kept running, right? A lot of uncertainty, right? People parking money into the dollar, when especially kind of came off the idea when I saw the treasury yields starting to move, right? Because you need to, if you've got 4.22% and we're moving up there on the yields, that means there's going to be an increase in dollar strength, right? Because in order to invest in that, you need to do it in US dollars, right? So uh kind of backed off that notion, right? As we started to watch things play out coming into this week. So no, like I said, here's before there was a slight correction, and then it just continued to move higher, right? So it's exploded off these lows, right? Ever since we've drawn that little rectangle, right, where it was kind of ranging in between these levels. Once it broke out above this level here, it just continued to explode. So we'll continue to watch the dollar closely. Any questions on the DXY? Okay. All right. So we today we have the Bank of Canada monetary policy statement. We've got another FOMC member speaking. And then we'll get forward guides out of the Bank of Canada. They did have some positive economic data, but they are expecting 50 basis points on the cut. Right. So I know we've seen a little strength coming out of the CAD, but the forecast is for them to cut by 50 basis points this point. And so really, really pay attention to that and see how the market reacts. You got the press conference at 10:30 for the forward guidance. We've got Lagarde speaking again today. She spoke yesterday here, and we can see some of the uh, Lagarde, what she said, hopes inflation back to target sooner than projected. Inflation numbers are relatively reassuring. Disinflation is on the right track. Can't say we've defeated inflation yet. Uh, Said here, the inflation target to reach sometime in 2025, but too soon to say when target price will be met. So we'll continue to watch the data, right, to see which way they may lean in regards to further rate cuts here in the near future. Okay. I did not. I have to go back and read and see what Governor Bailey said yesterday from the Bank of England. That's very, very important because uh, the inflation hit the UK like 1.7%. So let me go back and double check. Yes, dropped to 1.7% in September, below the Bank of Canada's 2% target, increasing speculation that the bank may need to implement deeper rate cuts. So I have to go back and read his remarks. So 1.7%. That's man to be back below that target already. I would say that's pretty. That's pretty good. The prime minister will resign. Who? From where? Joy.
Canada.
Oh, wow. Wow. So we'll see. So that's more uncertainty, right? That we'll put on the table. So this is exactly why we're seeing gold continue to move higher. We came into 2024, right? We talked about gold, but we also because of interest rate cuts, but we also said what? Hey, it's keep an eye on everything this year, right? And because there's going to be a record number of elections globally this year, right? And so we're in election season, so let's continue to see what's going on. Moving over, right? If we take a look at the spiders, right? Yesterday, S&P 500 index performance tracker, you see that it's mixed, right? Things are kind of bouncing around all over the place, right? So again, we'll take a look at the indices to start out just to see, hey, prices are getting pretty high. If we move over to our risk gauges, right, you can see here that the S&P 500, because it's sitting so high still, considered very bullish. The Nikkei, even though I thought that corrected a little bit yesterday. UK 100 is now bullish. We know that had been ranging, so we'll take a look at that. The DAX, the Dow, right, and you can see here. Look at these CAD plays, right? How bearish, 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 bearish. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out today with the rate cut. You did see strength a little bit, but that could be, folks jockeying for positions for the ahead of the rate cuts today. Um, Daily, right? You can see here going towards mix, but we've been a little bit risk off. If we look at the risk gauges, right, you can see here that the weekly bias is risk off, right? So we're trying to improve a little bit, but you can see here for the month it has it as primarily risk off. I don't know. I guess it depends on what sector, right? Because we've seen some good moves depending on what assets you are trading here in October. It's been fairly. So we'll see. All in all, we'll look at positioning, right? I haven't looked at that in a while in the crypto traders. So this makes sense, right? Gold, silver, oil, platinum, right? So your metals, which is what we've been tracking at for the most part, your indices, okay, copper, another metal. Um, you can see here the yen, even though we're seeing that, correct now due to some uncertainty, right, in regards to the monetary policy, like we just said, ahead of their election. And so you can see here the US 10, right? Even though that's picked up this week because of the yields, right? So that's changed. And then here's the CAD, right? You can see where that CAD is sitting, still pretty low on the traders. So um, we can roll down. Let's see something. Trying to get caught up with everything. Percent down. There we go at the CAD. right? So it's slightly up there. So I'm looking for, I want to see if they come through with that 50 basis points this morning, because that's what's forecasted. So I'm going to be watching that Canadian dollar price action very, very closely this morning. So that's that. Moving over to our indices, right? Taking a look at those, being that we have a bullish dollar. And so some of you, right, I hope you notice that it does happen. Yep, the ZAR, the South African rand. Yep. Um, if you notice, right, is one of these occurrences where you have gold strengthening at the same time as the US dollar, right? Doesn't happen often, but it does. But it does happen, right? So typically, a lot of times you have an inverse correlation, but this is one of those times because a lot of the uncertainty, people are parking that money, parking money into gold and buying the dollar, right? We know that oftentimes that the dollar, we always say that it can play both sides of the coin, right? It can act as a safe haven at times as well, and that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing right now. So, taking a look at the S&P 500, right? So I had that 5,900 target just before uh, the D extension at a 5,913, just to give it a nice round number, and that's pretty much there, everybody. That's pretty much there. Right? So we'll see if we get it to push. This is the daily chart for the S&P. See if we can get it to push to that 5,913 extension. But we're pretty much right on the money with it. And so anytime we start seeing these price levels, get towards those extensions, I get a little cautious, right? Get a little bit cautious. So if we move down, right, to our lower time frames, and run our fibs, we can definitely see how we're at some pretty high levels. And so kind of back off of a lot of buying when we start to. Now you gotta go at 2,600. Right? And we see this at 27.50 now. It's continuing to run, but that's okay, right? Can't be greedy. Have to stick to my plan. Right? Once I hit that 2,600 level, uh, I wanted to take a breather off. Right? So no regrets there. So here's the 4 hour on the S&P, right? And you can see we're nearing that extension, and we're just ranging, right? So definitely not looking to buy, right, the S&P right now. Right? See if we can eventually hit these extension levels, and then look for some sort of corrections. Any questions on the S&P 500?
Nope.
No. All right, let's take a look at this US 30. All right, this is the 1 hour chart. Let's move up to the daily. Take a look at where we are. Okay. So you can see, so I make sure I get this tracking. Subject. Okay. So trying to get to that 44,000 level, right? This is your daily D extension. This is the subject running off of that, right? So you can see how we close out here, right? So we're corrected. Okay. So we're correct. So the question becomes, do we come into this level here? Okay. Here's the level. And then this one right here, this zone right here is I'm eyeing. Right. All right. You see that long wick? So somewhere right around this area, right? If we don't hold where we are now, once we come down to this level here, past resistance become a future support in the zone. So we push through this 42,723 level. Can we settle down here? And then of course we got this next level. All right, that's an official low right. This out. So we've hit a D extension on the subfit. We're correcting. Pull this out now. Just to pick it up a bit. Okay, so we know we've got resistance. That's trying to form here. Right, which that really should be. Right, it's almost equal. So let's see how far the US 30 wants to, but definitely trying to get to that 40,000 level. Any questions on the US 30? No? All right. Anybody still sitting long, right, on the S&P or the US 30? Still holding your positions? No? Nobody? All right. Okay. For those of you just joined us who weren't on earlier, right, just wanted to remind everybody, hey, we're we're closing in on a U.S. election, right? A lot of uncertainty, which is why you're seeing gold running. You're seeing a lot, the dollar running strong at the same time. Gold is running strong, right? Because of we got shaky conditions, right? We saw the U.S. bond yields creep up, all right? And so what we were saying is, hey, if you're in the markets right now, you may want to contemplate, hey, not taking full positions, right? If you're going to trade, right? Because um, things have been shaky, right? But I think that's only going to be temporary, right? It's just, hey, we're at a time where it's election season and we need to trade with some caution. Okay, be smart. Be smart. All right. So that's the US 30. Moving down to the NAS 100. Okay. So we saw this break, but now we're just moving sideways. All right. So we pull that trend line out. This is our daily chart. And so we just got some sideways moving right now. Maybe we come back to retest 19,946, but we want to track to that 21,618 level. Okay, that's where we're trying to get to that D extension long term on the daily based on, right, our pullback to our 61.8 area. So see how much the price wants to correct, how long it wants to move sideways. Right? Our stochastic is slowly approaching, right, the buy zone. And then we'll see what happens from there. Just, hey, we're still in earnings season. We got a lot of major companies reporting. So we want to be aware of that as well, because that can always create some volatility in the market. So we'll see if the earnings reports, come in positive or negative, right? With these companies, see if they come in at, above, or miss forecast. So lots and lots of things to pay attention to, right? Which is why I'm sitting in primarily cash right now on the side. Any questions on this on the Nasdaq? Okay. Let's be smart with our money, everybody. Right? Be patient. Don't be so anxious, right, to give your money to the market. All right, here we are, right? So just like earlier, I thought I saw this correct yesterday. So the Nikkei is still overall on a bullish trajectory, but we are correcting right now. Okay, we are correcting right now. Let's move down to the lower time frames on this one. See, uh, there any 80/20s or anything like that that's playing out from before. I've been pretty much riding this from the from the higher time frames. So run some stuff to see if there's any. No, so not even 80 pulling. That's just pulling back. Right. This is a 1 hour chart. So let's just continue, see where this settles down, right? And where it wants to turn, where it wants to make the U-turn. Right. Can everybody hear me okay? It's telling me my internet is unstable. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So that's on the 1 hour chart. Let's move up to the 4. Just to see if there's any. No, it's pretty much the same thing, right? We're corrected. Yeah. So there we go. So let's see where we settle down. We'll put Trevon on this one, right, to see if it wants to get back on its path to the upside. So that's the guide to 25. Let's look at the UK 100. This one is still right. Not really doing much, staying far away from this one, right? So this is the daily. We're moving down, right? But you can see how it's just been ranging, right? Back and forth, right? Nice bullish candlestick there. Okay, this is the daily chart, but then we didn't. It turned right back over, right? It's taking it back. Okay, so moving to the downside. See this here, and trying to see. No, that was it as well. So nothing really doing on the UK 100. Can't make anything out of that. Here is the Russell, right? So still daily chart, moving to the upside. We got a high, right? So if you're playing those shorter term moves, right, where you're focusing on those swing highs and swing lows, you had a swing high here. Stochastic is in the sell zone. Right? So you got your swing high, you had good alignment there, right? So we've talked about this a lot. And there's your short, right? If you're playing this both ways. So we're moving to the downside. So we'll see how far we want to correct there. But the overall move on the Russell 2000 long term is still to the upside, right? But there's a swing high if you want to get short for the smaller play. Okay, you had a swing low here at one point, right? Moving to the upside, right? So if you're playing those daily levels, this is a good move to the downside. Okay. Any questions on the Russell 2000? No? Okay. Moving on, right? On this GI 30, we're correcting, right? This is the daily. Okay. So overall, you can see 19,966 is the level based on our correction, right? We got a 50% retracement. Price is now headed towards that direction, but right, your short-term play, here's another swing high on the daily that formed there in alignment with your stochastic, and we're correcting, right? Here was another, we got this one to actually move. I can pull this out now because it did retest it, continue higher. But here, right, if you're using this trading style, there was your swing low, aligning with your stochastic on the daily, we moved higher. Okay, here's your swing high. Now we're moving lower. Right? Nice, simple way to trade. Right? Swing highs and swing lows. Okay? If you're looking for, more of your intraday plays. Any questions on the GR30? No? All right. This is the SMX play, right? Your semiconductor technology around semiconductors. So this is still, right, just moving sideways right now. This is the daily chart. We're finding some support, right? Our stochastic is now moving back into the buy zone. So we'll see, right? If we can continue to move and take out the high and hit that D extension. Yeah. Okay. So still holding for longs uh, when it comes to Nvidia, and other tech companies in the semiconductor space, right? Right? Semiconductor ETF. Any questions there? No? So we'll jump over and take a look at move into look at some of our tech stocks. And we see Apple, right? Continuing to move higher. Right. So looking for Apple to take out the highs. We've got a D extension coming in at 244.65. Right. So we look for that to continue to move. Beautiful, right? Different asset class, doesn't matter, right? Stop 61.8 pullback to weekly support, and we've been moving up every since on Apple. Okay, so we're gonna look for that D extension to eventually be hit. Here's the Microsoft play. We are continuing to move higher after the correction. So 452.79 eventually. Right, there's your swing. We got a 786 pullback, looking for price to reach the 127 extension. So Microsoft has, this is a 4-hour chart, has continued to make us run to the upside. All right. Any questions on this Microsoft play? No? All right. And here we are on NVIDIA. Okay. Daily chart. Look what happened. 786 pullback. We hit the D extension at the 127. And now we've got a new AB boundary and it's continuing to push long, right? So we just took out the high. Took out the high. Okay. And so if you're holding this in your long-term portfolio, I think it is a really good thing to do. Okay? And to continue to add to it on the correction. So this is our daily chart moving to the upside. Let's go lower to see if there's any opportunities, right, for potential plays. So we will come here to 4. Fibs, smaller waves as we move down time frames. So same thing, right? Headed up to this 118, 127 zone on the 4-hour chart. So we got the bounce off the 236. But look at how clean that is, right? You've got past resistance becoming future support, right? And we're moving higher there. We take it down to the 1-hour chart. So sure it's track it correctly. Right? Similar situation, right? Headed up to the 118, 127. So no play right now on NVIDIA in regards to any type of opportunity to play any type of correction or to add to a position that you may have. Again, if you have, if you have a long-term portfolio and you're buying NVIDIA, say you have just a Robinhood account, right? Technical analysis can help you in regards to, hey, when do I want to add, buy more NVIDIA, right? Stop, right? So understanding, you know, technical analysis from a Fibonacci sequence standpoint, it's like, you know what? This is, I would like to have a better discount, on NVIDIA. And so you can use these levels. So I need a correction, right? These Fibonacci levels are my discount. I need a discount. If I can get a correction, right, then, okay, as an investor, I'll buy it at a lower price if I can get that. So I'm willing to sit back, let things run, and when the opportunity presents itself, I'll take advantage of it. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So continue to keep an eye on that NVIDIA play. We've got AMD, right? That's correcting right now in the grand scheme of things, right? This is where we are, right? Continuing to make on this is the daily chart now, right? So we're continuing to make higher highs and higher lows, right? Here's a higher low, here's a higher high that formed, and now we're correcting down, right? So keep an eye, right? If you're playing your levels, it's a beautiful short opportunity there, aligning with your stochastic. So now we're oversold, right? We're back in our buy zone here. So if I'm trading this AMD, okay, if I'm trading this, then I'm watching, right, this 148.14 level. Okay. Can we push down to that level? And at that point, do we see any type of reversal? This is just looking at the daily, okay? Moving down. So you can see your overall long-term trajectory, and then you have your more intraday plays, right? That you could take advantage of, like here. See, see, see how we came into this high, swing high. See where our stochastic was. See how we pushed down to this low. See, it gave us the opportunity to buy. Lots and lots and lots of opportunity there, right? This Adobe play, man, right? Really still just not doing anything. Push lower, move sideways, right? That was an idea from a long time ago, right? Maybe we fill this gap, right? Maybe we push down to fill this gap on Adobe. But hey, the lower the price goes, I thought we were gonna settle at this level, and we did it. But hey, the lower the price goes, the better. I look to pick that up in a longer term portfolio for Adobe. All right. Let's move and take a look at where our consumer stocks, right? So I want to keep an eye on, right? This is our McDonald's play, right? They took it out, and now we know. I don't know. Did anybody of you read about the what was that? An E. coli situation, right? With McDonald's. Am I correct on that? Did anybody else read that? I thought that's what I saw come across the head.
Oh no, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I think it was let me see.
I think 1 dead, 9 hospitalized.
Is that what one officially died?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So we had an E. coli situation with McDonald's, right?
Oh dear.
So yeah, multiple states. So I've been watching this closely to see, right, are we going to see a correction? I mean, technically, we're headed up at a level where we want to see a correction. But this was a good play, right? This last move off the trend line break. Oh, Joy, just talking about McDonald's and the E. coli outbreak. So latest nine hospitalized, 1 dead from it. That's sad. That's sad.
Wow, that's pretty serious for McDonald's.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm watching this to see if what type of impact that
Mm,
has on their stock price, right? So we can see this is the daily chart. We're getting up around the key level,
mm.
but this is from Joy said, "Oh, you posted an article. I have to go and check that out, Joy. Appreciate you doing that." Said I love quarter pounders.
Oh, I saw that this morning, Joy, actually. Yeah. I haven't
Yeah,
read it yet, though. I haven't read it yet.
yeah, I need to read it too. So let's see what happens. I mean, the market's closed, right? So I'm interested to see what happens today, especially since we got an update with 9 in the hospital and 1 dead from it. So we'll see what happens with that McDonald's stock price. Home Depot, right, making a correction. Hey, everybody, this is a 4-hour chart. Right? Read up, check your fundamentals on Home Depot, right? And this is sitting right in the buy zone there, so that may be a good play. That may be a good play. Let me see what our stochastic is looking like on the daily. Yeah, so our stochastic is headed towards the buy zone, so this may be a good look here off this correction. So here was your high. That's how I have that solid black line, right? Marking the previous high on that. And so we're coming right back to retest this zone. Okay. So if you're into picking that up, this is what I mean. Like, hey, the more portfolio, if I want to buy Home Depot, right? Is this a level, right? It's giving me, right? Over a 60, almost a 60, 62% discount, right? So is it time for this to get back long? It's a good possibility. Okay, so let's keep an eye out on that Home Depot stock. Okay. Want to move into quickly and look at our ETFs. Okay. This one, right? Our financial sector ETF. This is our 4-hour chart here. And you can see we're starting to correct off this V boundary. Okay. So we can see if we scroll out. It's not what I'm looking for. I have to go to the daily for that. So we're starting to move, right, to the downside. Here's this daily support daily resistance that it broke through, right? So I want to see if this moves further down, but do know we have a new AB boundary. This is a 4-hour chart. This is the financial sector expired ETF. So I am looking for a good price on this, right? As I want to see it continue to move. Ultimately, I would love it to see it move to retest this level here, but that's just the beginning, right? But that first key area is going to be this daily resistance level that can act as future support on that. Energy sector kind of just moving sideways, right? Nothing much doing there, retesting that beat boundary. We'll see if that becomes a good level for us, right? Once price breaks out, hopefully to back to the upside. On the energy sector ETF, here we are on industrials, seeing a good correction starting to happen. So don't need to make a move on it yet. Just continue to let that price fall. Continue to let that price fall to see if we can get it to move into our sweet spot. Okay. So Joy, this is what I was saying in regards to kind of sitting in cash, right? There's a lot of positions that are like this right now, to where it's just like, you know what? I'll wait. Like, so here, see how this continues to move down. We push lower in the zone, right? So some good things setting up. I would like to see price, right, on XLV, right? For those of you who don't know what that is, right? That's the healthcare sector. Okay, so you can see we saw a slight decline here recently, but we're still within this 8 boundary. Okay, so I want to see if this can get back above, right? What's this level? 151.87. Right, and we just push lower. We didn't hold up in this area, but we're still, right? Doesn't take out the A, it has no choice but to go our way. Okay, so let's see if we can get that price to reverse. That's one I'm keeping an eye on there. Here's our technology sector ETI, right? XLK. Still trying to get to that 245 level. Right, and this is a daily chart, right? So if we want to come down, see if we look like lower time frames, we can come down to the 1 hour chart and run a fib off this low to see how the price action is moving as we're zoomed in. Okay. So if I'm looking to get involved in this, right, then I'm trying to find a scenario that meets the type of criteria that I'd like to see, a potential setup. I'd love to see it move down to retest this daily zone, then see if we can pick up from there. So just stay patient. Okay. So a couple different ways to look at it, right? You could be the type of trader, you can have success either way. You could be the type of trader that's in and out of the market, right, on your smaller plays, or you could be patient, wait for the trades to fall into your zones, right? And that may take 2 days, 3 days, it may take a week, 2 weeks, right? But once they hit your zones and you make the play, then you look to ride those for quite some time, right? So you have to discover the type of trader that you want, right? The type of trader that you want, right? So that's our technology sector ETF. What else do we have? Let's look at XLP. See how we're moving. So this here, this is our daily chart. We've broken, we've retested the backside of this trend line. Our stochastic is still not where we would like it to be. So let's move down. Right. 1 hour chart here. I love price action, right? So we'll lighten this up. Right. You know, you just keep digging and digging and digging, right? Till you find the opportunities. Right? So we got a little pound action going on there. Let me see what the stuff is. Okay. So this, just like that, we found a potential opportunity. It's starting to break. So there's a major long target. We got an A6 retracement here, looks like. We're just shy. Let's see. Zoom in. Eight 30. 786 retracement. So it's kind of a shorter term target. Any questions? All right, that's your consumer staples there. A little over 0.5% yesterday. See if we can get that to continue to the upside. So that's that. I wanted to, where is, yeah. So this is his real estate sector ETF, right? We want to see if this can continue to, this is the daily, right? We came right to the edge of that zone, right? Want to see if this can, where does the casket set up? That's the daily. I wonder if this is going to hold and create a higher low, or we're going to go back down to double bottom. But I am long, right, in my bias for this real estate sector, right? And there's a couple too. There is also, so you could trade this one here, right? That's XLRE, that's your spider. And then you also have your IYR, which is your iShares. And you can see that that price action is pretty much identical. So those are two real estate ETF opportunities, right? So it just depends on which one you want to trade, but you can see how that price action is identical on that. Okay, so you can see how we're pulling back. This one is IYR, right? Same thing on the daily when we've got that pullback. So I wonder if you move down, you can do it on either one. You move down, I wonder if this is gonna see how that 4 hour stochastic is looking. I wonder if this is gonna hold. Yeah, okay. So if you're looking for a trade setup, right, that's a possible one there that you missed that initial move. I wonder if that's gonna continue to get long off that line. Any questions there? Not IVR, right? Symbols are so close, right? Sometimes it can get confusing. No questions. All right. All right. So here is the medical devices, right? IHI, right? ETF, that's closing in on the extension. So you've been spot on that one. This is the daily, right? It's a beautiful breakout and a pullback and a continuation. That one's pretty much right. That one's pretty much there. Right? So if you played that one, this was one from a while ago. We haven't looked at it in quite some time, but here it put in another low. Okay, daily chart, and look at how we moved up. That's pretty much on the money there. Right, it's profit taking time on that. It starts to cast it back to the sell zone. Okay. All right, so wrapping things up. I wanted to get to the ends, but we're not gonna be able to get to them. With our commodities, looking at oil, still bouncing back and not much there, but I will say, right, so we'll keep an eye on this here at this level. As we put in the swing low, we're definitely oversold. Okay. So lots of back and forth on oil. Here is, right, the gold play. We did not get that pullback, right, to that level at all. It pulled back slightly here. Let me clean this up since that didn't occur. Right. So I was hoping for a deeper correction, but gold, but we did take off. So this is starting to continue. So what's that? 27.93. This is overextended. Right? But the way this is moving, well, kind of already did that, everybody. I was saying maybe we get a pullback to this level, but you can see here that it already came down to test that level and reject it. I don't know if it'll do it again. Man, this is our four. Man, that's just running. So I guess you look for some type of correction and a continuation. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy it at this level. Play on gold. Right? Maybe if you move down to the 1 hour, 15 minute or so, maybe you can catch a correction and take the ride. But right now, I don't want to buy it at that level. Need a better discount. This silver, right? So that's mission accomplished on silver. Right. So that ran, I had it at 34 even, right? $34 per troy ounce. So this is 34.62. It hit the D extension, right? So that was a good run for us. Not sure if anybody played that, but if you did, congratulations, right? That crown pattern played out. So silver is running, right? This is nat gas. We're still kind of hovering, right? Take this off for now. Still kind of doing the dance, but this is the daily chart, and we are in the buy zone. So I would love for it to hold at this level and get back long. And then this is our GDX play. Right? Here you go, ETF, falling right in line with gold. So that crown mission accomplished on that one as well. Trading. Any questions over anything that we covered today? India has something also with gold prices. I forgot to go back to the article that caught my eye. All right. Hey, post it in the community for us, Joy. Appreciate it. But it is definitely on the run. Okay. Another one is ETF is GLD, right? So GDX, GLD, right? So all of that to the upside, man. It's making money right now. You've been tracking Walmart as a news. I used to I thought I had maybe I eliminated when let's take a look at that tomorrow, Walmart. Because I used to have it should be assume it's that, but it's not. Because I used to have that chart at one point, but I don't anymore. So yeah, I'll love to mark that one up and take a look at it. I know it was some years back. I don't know if you guys remember where there was a really good Walmart play and a Target play. I think they had missed forecasts. Both of them had missed forecasts. It created a huge correction. And then it took off from there. So yeah, let's track it. Let's take a look at it tomorrow. All right. Well, that is it for this morning's session. Look forward to seeing everybody back tomorrow, Thursday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. Hey, everybody, don't just count your pips, but always count your blessings. Christmas is on its way, right? Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.